Hi, ladies. I just wanted to pop in. I told some of you last week that I would film a quick video about how I edit my images for Instagram and also share with you the apps that I use, which I use quite a few. So I've really struggled with how is the best way to do this. I tried to figure out a way to film from my phone, and because I don't have a Mac computer, I can't figure out a way without having to purchase some program to do it. So I'm just going to hold my phone up and show you how I do it. So here we go. Okay, the programs that I use. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but this app right here, Camera Plus, is what I shoot all of my images in. So you can open Camera Plus, and I use this instead of the iPhone camera because it allows you to click right here and you can do the focus. So you can put where you want the camera to focus, and then if you hit that little plus button, it also brings out a little circle and it allows you to adjust the exposure. So you can put the focus one place and the exposure another place, and then down here it allows you to manipulate the brightness and everything. So I use Camera Plus to take all of my pictures on my iPhone. And then what you do is you click this little star loopy thing at the bottom. It brings up all the pictures that you've taken. And you can see there's a lot of selfies. What takes a lot. And then you have to save them to your camera. So you just click and click save. So then from there, so I start with Camera Plus. I take all of my images in there. Then I use another app to begin editing called Snapseed. And this is an app by Google. It looks like this with the little leaf in the top corner. It's called Snapseed. And so then I open there. It asks me if I would like to open a photo. Whoop, there we go. So I will do that. And we're going to edit this picture of my lunch yesterday. So it opens it up and it just looks plain and simple, really normal. And so I'm going to walk you through how I edit this to make it look like the rest of my images. So there's a little circle at the bottom corner. You want to click on that and it pops up a whole bunch of different options. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get it close where it'll focus for you. So the first thing that I do is the box that says details. I click on that and I add structure to my image, roll up. It says sharpening, and I sharpen my image just a little bit and hit the check mark. Then I hit that little circle again, open up all the options, and I click tune image. I adjust the brightness, and I usually increase the brightness a pretty good bit. I want it to look like the rest of my images, which is a pretty standard thing for my pictures, is to be very bright and airy. So right now this image, the brightness is adjusted to plus 73. Then you just press your finger on there, slide up, or no, you hit check, then you press your finger. We're going to go back to tune image. What is happening? There we go. Press the finger. I will adjust the contrast just a little bit, making it about plus 37. Press my finger. I do not do a lot with saturation. My pictures are really light and airy, so they don't have a lot of really bright color pops. But if that's something that is unique to your brand, that you want a lot of bright colors, you may increase the saturation a little bit, or the ambiance. Both of those really make it bright and a little bit more colorful. I then go to the highlights, and I increase the highlights to about, I would say, about 10, maybe 15, plus 10 or plus 15. And then I increase the shadows. That takes away all of those shadows. This one's to about 55. And then I click check. I go back to that circle one more time. I always crop my images to a square. I just like for all of my images on my fitness account to be squares. So I crop it. And then I click the little three dots at the top corner and select open in. And it's going to take me to the final app that I use to edit my pictures, and it's called VSCO Cam. I may be saying that wrong, but it's VSCO Cam, and it's another app. So download that if you don't have it already. And so then this brings up all the different options of where I can open it. So I'm going to open it to ViscoCam, and then it's going to take me directly to ViscoCam, and it looks like this. So it's taken me to my library and brought up the image that I just edited. I'm going to select that image and then click the little like dial button at the bottom to begin editing it. So it brings it up, and I usually use F2 as my filter, but then you can tap it and I decrease it to at least 6, maybe below. And that's just my standard filter. I use it every time on every single one of those pictures to create consistency. And then I go up, click the little arrow thing again. Sometimes I will lower the exposure if I feel like it looks too bright. This one I'm going to lower down to -2. And that's about all I ever do. And then I save it, go back down to this little dial button, click Save to Camera Roll, and save to my actual size. And then the last thing that I do is I go into the actual Instagram app, and then I go to add my picture, and it pops up. And I do use one of the Instagram filters regularly, which is like, what? Nobody does that anymore. I do. I use Clarendon right there, and it makes it crazy bright. So then I click it and lower it down to about 30-40% right there and click done. And there it is. It's super bright. It's really pretty. It did not start out like that, but with editing, I'm able to make it bright and clean and sharp and look like I took it with my really, really nice camera. And then I post it, and I do that exact same thing every time I edit my images. So for taking my pictures, I use Camera Plus. For my first step of editing and my most heavy editing, I use Snapseed. And then for just those final touches, I use ViscoCam, VSCO. A couple other apps that I use, I use Boomerang, which is the one, the app by Instagram that does like the repeat videos, which is really fun. I use WordSwag to add to add text over my images. I also use an app called Color Story. And this is really great for those of you that have your aesthetic is a little bit more colorful and bright. This is another editing app, and it allows you to like really add pops of colors and really brings out those colors. So if that's something you're looking to add into your Instagram feed, Color Story is a really great one to use. And then, of course, Typic. I use that occasionally in exchange for WordSwag. And then InShot is what I use to film all of my workout videos. I actually got that suggestion from Caroline. I do think you have to pay for that app, but it is so worth it. I use it all the time. The ways that you can customize it are amazing. So yeah, I hope this helps. I know it was probably not the best to see, but this is the only way I could come up with on like how to share how I edit. So you guys are rocking it. It's been really cool to see y'all implement some of this stuff. Y'all are keeping me on top of it with my social media strategy. So I hope this helps, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.